Hi, everyone, and welcome. We bring you a regular season game. Taking a look at the 76ers. This is their third matchup of the NBA Cup. They've gone 1-1 so far in group play.
And, you know, I think if they want a chance to move on to the knockout round, I think they've probably got to win out. So it starts tonight here at home.
And then the situation for the Nets. Looking for a road win, and also their first win in group play for the NBA Cup.
Well, their chances of advancing to the knockout round, slim to none, but they're not lying down. Still a lot to play for.
Now let's check out the starters for Brooklyn. They've got Spencer Dinwiddie. He's out there with Cam Thomas. R.J. Barrett out there with Sharp. And it's Clowney in at the power forward.
He's a go-to guy for them because he's that consistent. Time and time again, he delivers.
Dinwiddie finds Sharp. Thomas outside. That shot missing. Harden with the defensive effort. For three. Fires in the triple.
Surgical precision from Harden, demonstrating his sick handles one more time.
Outside Barrett. Up top Dinwiddie. Maxey covering. Dinwiddie gets the bucket. First minute and a half of basketball played here in this one. And Clark, this last summer, former Sixer Doug Collins inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well-deserved honor for Doug. I mean, he's Philly's former #1 overall pick back in 1973, and he played almost a decade there for the Sixers. Also coached the Sixers, among many other teams that he had a chance to coach in the NBA, but clearly an NBA lifer and one of the best guys that's part of the NBA fraternity.
Now here's Harden. Checking the numbers, he's averaging close to 15 a game. George, no good.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Outside Sharp. Pass to Thomas. Just 5 to shoot. Fires for 3. Barrett can't hit. For Philadelphia, they've gone just 2 for 4 from the floor. Stevens. Offensive rebound. And Embiid with the slam.
And you guys know JoJo loves busting out these dunks. What an athlete.
And Jordi Fernandez calls timeout. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. Here we have the teams that really hustled for those second chance looks the last 10 games. In the third spot, the Nets.
Well, you love the attack mindset on the glass. They've imposed their will physically.
Dinwiddie passes to Barrett. Thomas outside. Outside Barrett. There's a screen. 6 to shoot. Thomas against Harden. Launches a 3. It's hauled in by the Sixers. They come into this one having outplayed the Grizzlies last time.
And it's just so hard to stop them when they're scoring at that level. They were efficient and didn't let up at all.
Well, it's really hard to stop them when they're in a groove offensively, and they were in a comfort zone all game long in that one.
Now here's Thomas. His last outing, he had 18 points. Tries it from 19. Paul George pulls down the board.
Clean look from mid-range. Coach will probably want to run that play again.
Well, Grant, you often hear about how smooth Paul George's game is.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Young players can learn a lot by watching his footwork. His timing, his ability to find the space he needs, it's just tremendous.
Now here's Maxey. 13 points in the win against Memphis.
And you never want to give a shooter like him a clean look.
Pass to Clowney. For three, Barrett. Rebound by Philadelphia. Embiid's got rebound number 5 here tonight. George finds Maxey from outside the arc. Knocks down the triple.
The numbers testify. Tyrese Maxey is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA.
Back to Dinwiddie. Sharp a screen on Maxey. And here's Dinwiddie from the arc. Joel Embiid with the board. And here are the 76ers. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much.
Yeah, that barrel-chestedness of Harden. So much strength and body control. It's hard to stop him from scoring.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. So Brooklyn going with almost an entire new group here. Watford's checked in for Sharp. Johnson comes in for Clowney. Melton, he's checked in for Thomas. And Ben Simmons subbed in for Dinwiddie. And so it's Johnson with it. He brings it up to the Nets. They trail by 7. And this is their first time matched up with Philadelphia this year. Back to Simmons. Pass to Melton to stop the drought. Drops in the 3.
Boy, his teammates and coaches encourage Melton to be aggressive.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Brian, the Sixers' 2 stars make a great pairing. Maxey said of Embiid, since I was a rookie, he's had the ultimate faith and believed in me. And Embiid said of Maxey, he's something else. Always smiling with the same energy. Good games, bad games, always the same. People like that set the tone for everybody else. Brian?
That's a good call, Allie. Thank you. And Brooklyn with possession here. Following the score by Philadelphia. It's the trifecta. Melton's got 6.
The moment Melton thinks he has a shot, he gets it up. He's very assertive around the arc.
Pass to Maxey. Martin with a screen on Simmons. And it's Maxey missing.
Already +5 in terms of rebound margin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Now here's Simmons. No made baskets yet. And here's Melton. Just 5 on the clock. It's stolen away. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock and the game clock. Here's McCain. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
Yeah, their defense is starting to wear down. That's 3 straight buckets at the rim.
Now Barrett. He's been a big scorer for this offense, averaging around 20 points a game. Launches it from deep. No good there. And so the first quarter is in the books. Philadelphia on top. They lead by 5. And quarter number 2 will get underway just after this short break. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter of action so far. And looking at what we've seen from the Sixers, what do you guys think?
It's simple. The main takeaway from the first quarter is they're winning this game with defense.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the energy, the effort defensively. They put it all out there in that opening quarter.
The Sixers lead by 5. On the floor for the Nets, DeAnthony Melton out there with Ben Simmons. Then there's Johnson, then it's Trendon Watford, and it's Clowney in at the center, filling out the middle. Here's Embiid, puts the move on. Down low, Embiid puts it in.
Inside, Embiid has almost too many options. A lot of ways he can get it done.
Johnson passes to Simmons, back to Johnson. Jackson against Simmons. Clock at 6. Watford outside. Off target from outside.
And they just continue to dominate the boards.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Now here's Jackson. 7-point game, biggest lead so far. Embiid inside. He had 28 points in the win against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
A pest down low. Those 3 blocks really affected guys attacking the hoop.
And that one's good. Simmons.
You know, what touch from the Australian native, Ben Simmons. I mean, he's so good at staying under control, even when facing physical contact.
Here's McCain. He's coming off a 10-point game against Memphis. Back to Jackson. Brooklyn pulls it in. Melton, right side. Watford. From the left block, he sends it through. And Grant, one thing we've seen so far with the NBA Cup tournament, it's been an absolute blast for the fans.
Yeah, B.A., it's the ideal way to make games more engaging. Fans love to brag about anything their team does. So in that regard, giving regular season games this extra spice has been a huge success.
Stevens is checked in for Philadelphia. Harden comes in for Jackson. Warren's checked in for Brooklyn. Finney-Smith comes in for Watford. The Sixers lead by 3. Harden surveying the D. Here's Yabusele. Embiid a screen on Johnson. Philadelphia with another miss.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Down low from 7 feet away. And there's another one for the Nets.
The assist goes to Dorian Finney.
Here's McCain. Looking at his numbers, currently he's averaging around 9 points a game. Pass to Embiid. Here's McCain. 6 on the shot clock. Sinks the tray. McCain's got his second basket on the night.
The big man draws so much attention, so Embiid takes advantage of that and finds an open teammate.
What a 22-23 season it was for Joel Embiid. Named MVP with the Sixers, Clark.
Yeah, and that was Philly's first MVP since the answer. Allen Iverson back in 2001. Embiid led the league in scoring at over 33 a game on 55% shooting from the floor. Remarkable. Nobody could stop him. He was virtually unguardable.
Here's Embiid following the bucket by Brooklyn. On the wing, Harden. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
That's his first.
That one on Melton.
Nobody quite like Harden to run your offense. He knows the ins and outs like very few do.
2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good.
An effective playmaker and a more efficient scorer, Harden continues to be a highly productive player.
Sharp, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Thomas comes in for Ben Simmons. And he's good on the second. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. It's Thomas on the wing. Outside Sharp. Left side Johnson. Shot from 12. Rebound by the 76ers. Embiid's got rebound number 8 now.
This has been a close game in a lot of ways, but they do have an edge on the boards.
We've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
And Brooklyn with possession here after the Sixers picked up a basket a moment ago. Outside Harden. Outside Maxey. Shoots over Melton. Finney-Smith pulls it in.
Well, you know, you'd like to see a little more effort there defensively, but maybe they wanted him to take that shot, baited him into it.
Harden against Melton. Pass to Johnson. Shot clock at 6. And the Nets miss again. And so it's Maxey with it. He brings it up for Philadelphia, leading by 5. Yes, and a nice assist from Harden. Maxey's got 7.
Hey, one thing about Maxey, he was just born to score. This guy is a bucket getter.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. both teams making some changes here. Let's see some of the numbers here for R.J. Barrett.
And over the last 5 games, his field goal percentage has increased. And you can make a case his confidence as well because of this.
Dinwiddie, right side.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
A minute 58 left in the first half of basketball.
I'll tell you what, they've been aggressive and they've been physical.
Well, they're working the glass really badly in that area of the game, and that's helped them stake this lead.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Now here's Thomas. Big-time contributor on offense, just over 22 points a game.
Yeah, the defense gets in Barrett's face, so he gets aggressive right back, winning the and-one chance.
Brooklyn shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved.
Barrett, no good on that one.
And with Barrett, we know he can score the ball. Now he must focus on becoming a better passer and facilitator.
For 3, George. Brooklyn pulls it in. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Hornets.
They really struggled to find their footing throughout the night. But towards the end, they got into a flow and almost won it.
Yeah, a lot of character on display, a lot of guts. You're right. Even as shaky as they were, I would guess they felt they let one get away from them.
This is why you put the ball in his hands. An accurate pass hitting a moving target.
Here's Harden. And he gets it to go off the front iron. Harden's got his 3rd basket on the night right there.
Harden is lethal. His accuracy on point. You think it's a tough shot, but not so for him.
And down it goes. 2 points.
And their shots are dropping with more consistency now.
Well, it was a slow start, but they've gone from simmer to medium heat, and they're bordering on hot to close this gap.
Now here's Harden. 11 points for him last game against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
And despite drawing a lot of contact, he just kept coming, which resulted in a ton of free throws.
Well, how about this factoid? James Harden drawing another foul. And in other news, water is wet too.
Taking
Take
2
a break.
shots.
Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. Harden hits them both.
I love it. In attack mode, drawing foul calls this quarter and getting to the free throw line.
My kind of hoops. Straight ahead, playing downhill, and physical.
Thomas finds Barrett. It's Dinwiddie on the wing. He's coming off a 10-point game against Charlotte. 1 second left. The shot no good. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers closing out this quarter with a 7-point lead. Their key to consistency has been their dominance in the paint. They've been the more physical team. All right, now let's check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
Joel, some fireworks early. What's going to be critical to keeping it rolling?
Just keep moving the ball, get stops, and I think the kids just moving the ball, playing together. We've been doing that, and we got some hot guys, and we got to keep fitting them.
Ball movement is key, guys.
Okay, Allie, appreciate it. And folks, we'll be back after halftime to begin the 3rd quarter.
Please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drum roll. They're measuring up that shot. Let's hear
Welcome to halftime, everybody. It's been a bit of a challenge so far for the Brooklyn Nets.
You're not going to win many games shooting under 30% from three. If they want to climb back into it, they've got to focus on getting easier looks there, Ernie.
Not everybody can be like the Jet, though, who shot a career 40% from behind the line.
39.9%. That half year in Atlanta killed it, Ernie.
I would agree with that.
And now, let's see what the NBA power rankings are starting to look like.
When I look at Brooklyn, they're one of the teams we've hoped would figure it out. Things are clicking right now, and still early enough for them to make something happen.
The way they've melded together as a team, it's been impressive. And that's a wrap on halftime. Thanks for watching as we send you back to BA to call the second half.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast thus far. We're halfway through the game. We are seeing an outstanding game from James Harden.
You just love his patience offensively in the first half. Waited until he got the looks he wanted.
Well, you know what, guys? It was all about efficient offense, not rushing things, taking your time, finding the best shot on every possession.
Well, Grant, you were an excellent defender in your day. So who was the toughest player you had to guard?
Well, there were so many great players, Michael, LeBron. But let's talk about the late, great Kobe Bryant. I mean, he really had no weaknesses. And even if you defended him perfectly, there's a good chance he can still make the shot.
Maxey and Harden make up the backcourt. Then it's Joel Embiid. Then there's Paul George. And it's Stevens in at the power forward position. That's the group in the game for the 76ers. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot two.
Dinwiddie's so good at figuring out ways to get the defense to foul him. You just can't be careless defensively when you're guarding Dinwiddie.
You know, Grant, with the Nets, there was so much optimism just a few years back.
And it was just too bad to see things go south. It's a reminder that nothing is as easy as it seems in the NBA. Even with a superstar roster, things don't always work out.
The first one falls. Well, this was a big summer for the 76ers, Grant, trying to capitalize on their championship window with superstar Joel Embiid.
You're spot on, B.A. Acquiring the talent that might allow him to save himself for the home stretch. Of course, last year's playoffs, he battled heroically, but ideally, they'd like him much closer to 100% come the postseason. He's making the most of every trip to the line, providing for his team.
For three, Maxey. The Sixers with another miss.
Clearly out of sync to begin this half, 0 for their first 3 attempts.
And here's Thomas from the arc, and the basket's good. Off the assist from Dinwiddie. Thomas has got 8.
Defensively, there was a lack of aggressiveness, and it really made it easy for him to knock that shot down.
Maxey on the wing. He's covered by Dinwiddie. Out of bounds, it'll be the Nets ball. Stretching the floor makes all the difference. Let's see which teams do the best job of it. The 76ers, 4th.
Instead of just bombing away, they work hard to create good looks from beyond the arc.
And with a little over a minute gone by, the second half is underway. Outside Barrett for the tie. And no good. Embiid with the nice defensive effort. Fires from the line, and Harden gets it to go on the assist by George. He's got 12.
A proven scorer. When Harden gets into a flow like this, he can pile up points.
Good work there as it goes.
Looks like we're starting to see a pattern here. Not afraid to get in the paint and get wet.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
And timeout is called by Nick Nurse. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. Now that we're into November, let's see how the Eastern Conference standings are shaken out. You take a look at Brooklyn, a better start would be ideal, but right now they're 10th in their respective conference. And of course there's Philadelphia, down a few spots.
When I look at the 76ers, when you look at their roster, they're talented enough to turn this thing around. But so far, the season has not come together for them the way people predicted.
Yeah, that's a sense you get, isn't it? I mean, the important thing is that they don't panic here. Stick to the basics and work out of this slump without trying to do too much at one time.
Here's Dinwiddie. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. They set a pick. And here's Thomas from the arc. Hits a three-pointer. Thomas has got 6 in the quarter.
They found a nice groove in this half, starting out 3 for 4.
Well, you look at Cam Thomas, Grant. You think he has the potential to be a star in this league?
Well, you know, it's tough to say, B.A. He has a lot of talent, especially as a scorer. I think he has to keep evolving other parts of his game if he wants to become a full-fledged star.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Paul George spent some time talking about his idol. He said, the person who motivated me as a kid was Kobe Bryant. Growing up in Southern California, watching him every day, I wanted to emulate him. I attacked the game the same way he did, trying to work on every deficiency, play both ends, and be a competitor.
His impact lives on, Allie. Now here's Thomas. 11 points in the game. Comes up empty from 19 feet out.
You wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the glass.
It's clearly been their edge, and in a close game like this, you look for every edge you can find.
Harden's shot is good.
They've been going to him an awful lot this game, and you can see why. He's pouring it on.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here.
Yourself on the screen and you show us your best moves. Let's go.
Last 10 games, here are the shooting guards who have been scoring the best. And you look at Thomas. He's having a great season, 2nd in the league.
And night after night, we see this group light it up. If you try to take something away from them defensively, they'll beat you some other way.
Yeah, you don't have to take a long look at their point totals to see that this is the premier group of scorers at the premier scoring position in the NBA. Shooting guards can flat out bring it.
Now here's Dinwiddie. 6 points for him. For 3, Barrett. Yes, and a nice assist from Dinwiddie.
3 points.
Dinwiddie's got 4 assists now tonight.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
Pass to Stevens. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Nets trail by 3. All right, Grant, when you look at the Nets rebuild, what are you seeing at this point?
Well, they gave up a lot of young players and draft picks to assemble a big 3. And, of course, that didn't quite work out. So now they're in that middle ground, which sometimes can be a little tough. Add to the fact that they're in New York, the fans and media are anything but patient and forgiving.
Here's Clowney. No points yet. Now here's Dinwiddie. Out of bounds. It'll be Philadelphia's ball.
Tops in scoring, 1st in assists, and they place in the top 5 in steals, using their length to get into passing lanes, using quick hands to frustrate the opponents.
And it's no secret the league is definitely more offensive-oriented nowadays. And they are the best of the bunch in following that trend, leading the league in points per game. Johnson, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Melton comes in for Dinwiddie. Maxey with a screen on Johnson. McCain buries it from 3. McCain's got 8 points.
And when it comes to the three, they've been really dialed in here in the second half.
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, you got it real right. They are lighting it up from beyond the arc this half.
Here's Clowney. Right now averaging 5.5 a game. Johnson with a bucket.
It's nice to see they're not settling for three-pointers. These guys are putting in the work inside.
Barrett against Harden. And there's the drive. Drops in the layup for 2. Harden's got 11 in the second half.
You know, throughout this quarter, guys, they've had no answer for him defensively. And he's been absolutely relentless.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Brooklyn making some changes. Watford's checked in for Sharp. Finney-Smith comes in for Clowney. And Simmons is subbed in for Barrett. Nets trail by 6. There's 1:54 left to play in the third quarter. Pass to Finney-Smith. This one for 3. Rebound by Philadelphia.
Good job hitting the glass. They're +8 in rebounding.
Back to Harden. Hey, it's blocked by Simmons.
At his size, Simmons has the reach to be a shot blocker, so you've got to be careful when you're trying to rise up around him.
Now here's Johnson. Here's the 3. Yes. And that's Simmons with the assist. Johnson's got 5 points now this quarter.
Defensive mix-up there. He's the last guy you want to leave open.
Harden with a bucket. And the 76ers lead by 5.
You know, in that first half, a lot more three-point shooting. Since then, though, they've dialed it back.
Simmons with it. Johnson a screen on Maxey. Here's Simmons. Count it. Good.
They just aren't attacking from the perimeter like they did in that first half, and I think that's part of the problem right now.
Pass to McCain. For 3, Maxey. Finney-Smith pulls it in.
It hasn't been all bad shots for him, but you wouldn't know that looking at his percentage from the field.
Simmons, the pass to Johnson. Outside Finney-Smith. 6 to shoot for the tie. And it's Harden who pulls down the rebound. Philadelphia leading by 3. Here's Yabusele. Maxey surveys. Takes a 3. The shot off that time. James Harden. He's been the guy making things happen for the 76ers. Continued to rack up points in that quarter. His total for the night to 23. Back to the game after this break. We've reached the fourth quarter in what has been a very competitive game. Should be an exciting finish. Nets trail by 3. On the floor for Brooklyn, Finney-Smith and Johnson at the small and power forward spots. DeAnthony Melton out there with Ben Simmons. And it's Watford in at the 5, roaming the paint. Outside Finney-Smith. Can't tie it up. That one misses. And the 76ers shooting 47% on this one. Looking efficient. Pass to Martin. Here's Embiid. Shot is good. Off the back rim and in. And the 76ers lead by 5.
Embiid, a versatile shot maker, showing off his mid-range game there.
Right side Johnson. Lets it go from 11. Joel Embiid with the board. Embiid's got 15 rebounds here tonight. 1 minute in now in the fourth quarter. Brooklyn pulls it in.
You know, it hasn't been his best outing, but they still find themselves in the driver's seat here.
Pass to Simmons. Outside Finney-Smith. Now Johnson. Outside Simmons. Just 4 to shoot. From the high post. The rebound by Yabusele. The Sixers lead by 5. Here's McCain. Out of bounds. It'll be Brooklyn's ball. And now a chance to see what's coming up for the Philadelphia 76ers. On Sunday, they'll be playing against Russell Westbrook and the Los Angeles Clippers. And then on Wednesday, the Houston Rockets come to town.
And for that game against the Hornets, they'll want to come out fighting in that one. They'll be big-time underdogs, but anything can happen.
James Harden, he's checked in for Gordon. Melton on the wing. Back to Johnson. Melton outside. Simmons with a screen on Harden. Took the opportunity when he saw it.
Their strategy has been pretty simple here in the second half. Attack from three-point range.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
Now here's Embiid. And Embiid gets the double team. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball.
That's a jump ball.
Now here's Finney-Smith. He's guarded by Martin. Finney-Smith passes to Johnson. And here's Simmons. To tie it up. And the layup is up and in. And it's all knotted up.
You know, with his size and skill, Simmons is really good down low. I think he can score a bunch of points this way.
Here's McCain. And the three-pointer goes. And the 76ers lead by 3.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Now here's Simmons. Banked it in off the glass.
And here in the fourth, he's been zeroed in, hitting some big-time buckets.
And so it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. Coach clearly has something he wants to say to his team right now. Brooklyn going with almost an entire new group here. Sharp, he's checked in for Watford. Clowney comes in for Finney Smith. Thomas, he's checked in for Melton. And it's Dinwiddie in for Ben Simmons. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
I had a chance to find out what Nick Nurse was discussing with his players. He pleaded with his guys to keep their emotions in check, saying, "You're battling right now. Continue to play smart. Don't try to be a hero out there. Play for one another." Guys, let's see what happens.
And Allie, thank you for that.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Now for an update on R.J. Barrett, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, the head athletic trainer for Brooklyn provided some info for us. In his analysis, an aggravation of that nagging shoulder tendonitis. Extremely painful. And this team really needs him. They aren't the deepest squad in the NBA, so we'll see how they move forward, Brian.
Well, and Allie, it appears that he needs some work done before he comes back to this one.
And we all know that if it's something he can play through, he'll be back, no doubt.
Now here's Thomas to take the lead. Rebound by the 76ers. Stevens has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Maxey. Nice spin off the left rim and in. And the 76ers lead by 3.
No fear in Maxey, folks. This guy is ready for the big moment and welcomes the challenge.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. He wants to make sure they're purposeful with the game plan. Making a switch here. Barrett's checked in.
Again, let's hear it for 76ers Youth Dance Team.
Dinwiddie against Maxey. Back to Barrett. Shoots over George. And the Nets miss again.
And I don't understand. Why is he going to the fadeaway? Just go straight up with it.
Cranes the triple. And now it's a 6-point 76ers lead.
There's not much a defender can do when George decides to go up with the pull-up. I mean, you got to respect both his shooting and his driving ability because of his speed on the dribble.
Thomas, that's good.
And you want him taking good shots at this point in the game. And that one was easy.
Well, you don't want to give him any open shots at this stage. Never mind a layup. Come on now.
Maxey passes to George. Offline with a 3. Nets trail by 4. Here's Thomas. Not enough on that one as it misses. Philadelphia's gone 2 of 4 from the perimeter here in the 4th quarter. That doesn't go either for George. Brooklyn has gone 1 for 3 in the 4th quarter from range. Thomas misses. The Sixers lead by 4. Here's Harden. Sharp grabs the miss. Sharp's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Thomas up top, defended by Harden. Kicks it out to Dinwiddie. To the middle. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, you never want to let shots at the rim go uncontested.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line. And that narrows the lead down to just 3.
And by missing that free throw, now a 3 could even the score. Not ideal.
Now here's Embiid.
What confidence from Joel Embiid. Knocked that one down in a clutch situation.
Harden against Thomas. 35 seconds left in the fourth. Barrett passes to Dinwiddie. Money! What a beautiful shot! Brings him within 3.
Indeed, my goodness, the determined Dinwiddie. Spencer coming up big on a crucial possession.
First team foul.
27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And so they foul intentionally.
Personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for your Sixers, Tyrese Maxey. Taking 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws good, and it's a 5-point game.
Great job at the line, and it's now a 2-possession game.
And Jordi Fernandez calls timeout. He's looking to make some very important adjustments here. .26 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Yeah, and there's no question they have to foul. Now, I'm sure they would have preferred to avoid it.
They didn't really have another option. I mean, I thought they did a nice job getting it in his hands and making sure he was the guy who'd go to the line.
Good on the first, and that increases the lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here, and it's a 7-point game.
Making the most of his trip to the line and helping them extend their lead.
Yes! And now they trail by just 4.
His improving ability to pass has made Dinwiddie scary with the ball in his hand.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's the foul.
Yeah, just trying to keep this game alive. Not a bad foul right there.
Sure, it's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
Oh, the first of 2, no good. A heartbreaker. And he ends up making the second. And that puts him up 5. There's 14 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Outside Barrett. And here's Thomas from the arc. Doesn't go that time. And so it's Philadelphia with the W. And they picked up their second win in the group stage of the NBA Cup.
Well, that moves them to 2-1 during group play. And by avoiding that second loss, they put themselves in a good position to advance to the next round.
All right, let's send it down to Allie LaForce, who's with our player of the game.
James, I'd love to know whether it's scoring, playmaking, or your defense. What aspect of your game are you most proud of?
Being able to play a full course of a game and, and make an impact every single play. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I have to do.
It's been fun to watch.
Allie, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for watching. And now, time for our player of the game, James Harden.